Anybody else want some? Hey! Can anybody hear me? Guess you didn't want a piece of me. Yeah. Anybody else want some?
time, I want to fight somebody who doesn't smell like old cheese. Mysterio! Jeez, it's good to see you. Still got a fishbowl for a head, I see.
Spider-Man, do you always have to be a half-wit?
Ooh, now that hurt. And speaking of getting hurt, step away from those plans before I have to get medieval on you.
You idiot! Why do you think S.H.I.E.L.D. has plans for Ultron?
I thought everyone had them. I got some this morning in a box of cereal.
These plans are upgrades. The good guys want to capture Ultron so they can rewrite his programming and turn him into a S.H.I.E.L.D. weapon.
That's impossible. Ultron is sentient. Reprogramming him is illegal.
Yes, it is. But all I care about are these plans. Ultron wants them for the weapon upgrades.
If your Ultron gets weapon upgrades, then my Ultron will want weapon upgrades, and that just won't do.
Huh? I've heard enough of your babbling. It's showtime!
I'm almost out of time. Not much of a challenge.
They're advancing! Let's do this!
Leave me alone.
Let's move out!
My target's down.
Watch out! There's an AIM helicopter for... Yes.
Enemy unit sighted!
You're not as tough as you look. up from that.
Stay down.
I like this.
Target in range.
Sure. Nice try, tough Now I have some real power. Sure.
Target's in range.
Oh yeah, I'm the best at what I do.
Dispatch another squad.
All right. Ooh, how embarrassing for you. Sure.
They're here.
You're lucky I went easy on you.
Boy, am I glad to see you guys. I've been trying to unlock the door to the bridge. Sounds like a...
They're here.
Got it. The door... We get no...
Man down. Man down.
do my happy dance?
Yes.
Next time, I want to fight somebody who doesn't smell like old cheese.
All right.
All right.
That was almost too easy.
Dispatch another squad.
Next time, I want to fight somebody who doesn't smell like old cheese.
That would be due to the entropy device, I'm told. You will remain immobile as long as I hold this button. I'm afraid you have no other option. Now, keeping this thing, you'll receive an electrical shock for every incorrect answer you give. Let's begin, shall we? How far is the Earth from the Sun? thought it's not a subatomic particle. Somehow you're cheating! The deal is off! Tricked me somehow! Guards, attack! Advance!
Next time, I want to fight somebody who doesn't smell like food.
Lock and load! I need assistance!
My target's down.
Oh, you're not doing very well.
How embarrassing for you!
Oh, you're not doing very well.
My health is almost gone.
You're lucky I went easy.
How delightful!
Bad. Target in range.
I need more energy. My health is almost gone.
Oh, you're not doing very well.
They're here!
Well, this is a surprise.
All right. Affirmative.
You did it. Stop the Omega. Well done.
Guys, that was one for the books. There's no time to relax. Colonel Fury wants you back at Stark Tower immediately. Stay where you are, and I'll pick you up at the Quinjet.
You did a good job on the Omega Base team. You saved thousands of lives and billions of dollars in SHIELD equipment.
Mr. Stark, there's Miss Bambi and Miss Heather here in the main lobby to see you. The nanotechnology team will be meeting in the Optronics lab. Colonel Fury, Red Ralston is on line 6. Warning, a small thermonuclear device is missing, and Deadpool was last seen in the weapons lab. The President is on line 5, Colonel Fury. Miss Bambi and Miss Heather are still waiting for you in the main lobby, Mr. Stark.
Yes, a device known as the Mutant Amplifier. It magnifies a mutant's natural powers.
Grimm's 65th birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Grimm.
Until we locate Doom's base, nothing. And since all we're doing is cooling our heels, I want you to investigate a report that there's a riot taking place in Atlantis.
There's a Harold Hogan on line 2 for you.
See Wyatt Wingfoot, and he'll take you to SHIELD's Atlantis outpost. Or if you'd like more information, talk to the Black Widow.
There's Miss Bambi and Miss Heather here in the main lobby to see you. The nanotechnology team will be meeting in the Optronics lab. Colonel Fury, Red Ralston is on line 6. Warning, a small thermonuclear device is missing, and Deadpool was last seen in the weapons lab. The President is on line 5, Colonel Fury.
We just received a message from Namorita, the cousin of Namor. Apparently, there is a riot going on in Atlantis.
Heather are still waiting for you in the main lobby, Mr. Stark.
Unknown, but for some reason, the Atlanteans have forcibly removed Namor from his throne.
Johnny Storm would like you to
Yes,
announce that today is
which
Red
means something
Grimm's
is seriously
65th
wrong.
birthday.
See
Happy
Wyatt when you are
birthday,
ready
Mr.
to
Grimm.
go to SHIELD's outpost in Atlantis.
Mr. Stark,
My
there's a
apologies.
Harold Hogan
I should
on
have
line
given it to him as soon as we arrived. Please, take this to him.
Mr. Stark, there's Miss
We do not
Bambi
know.
and
He has been a
Miss Heather
fair
here in
and
the
just
main lobby
ruler
to
for
see
many
you.
years. The people love him.
The nanotechnology team will be meeting in the Optronics
Perhaps.
lab.
But Namor has always been kind to his people. There has to be some other explanation for this
Colonel
mass
Fury,
hysteria.
Red Ralston is on line 6.
Once you reach our Atlantis outpost, you will be infected with a special nanotechnology. Mr. Fantastic and Dr. Pym had a hand in developing it. It will allow you to breathe water with no discomfort. You will also be able to move along the bottom of the ocean as if you were moving on dry land. When mer people and surface dwellers first met, there was quite a bit of hostility. There were even several invasion attempts. The relationship between our two races is lukewarm at best. The mer people prefer to keep us at arm's distance.
65th birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Grimm.
You are quite welcome.
Mr. Stark, there's a Harold Hogan on line 2 for you. Mr. Stark, there's Miss Bambi and Miss Heather here in the main lobby to see you.
Thank you for the decryption module. Now I can patch directly into the SHIELD database.
We'll be meeting in the electronics lab.
Namor is the first known hybrid of Homo sapiens and Homo mermanus, humans and merpeople. He can breathe water and air, but if he's away from water too long, he will begin to weaken.
A small thermonuclear device is missing, and then
As with most merpeople, he has an inborn distrust of surface dwellers, and true to his belligerent nature, Namor can take his distrust to the extreme. The Atlanteans are distant cousins to your race. Having evolved on the ocean floor, it is impossible for them to breathe air.
Waiting for you in the main lobby, Mr. Stark.
Because they live in the extreme conditions of the ocean, merpeople are very hardy. They are stronger than humans, can swim up to 30 miles per hour, and live to be over 150 years of age.
Happy birthday, Mr. Grimm.
I am glad to be of assistance.
Mr. Stark, there's a Harold Hogan on line 2 for you.
Ah, my cybernetic helmet. Thanks. I owe you one.
Mr. Stark, there's Miss Bambi and Miss Heather here in the main lobby to see you.
The mutant amplifier vastly augments any mutant's natural power. So a psychic that can lift a book will become powerful enough to lift a bus.
Colonel Fury, Red Ralston is on line 6.
Yes, but it has some serious side effects. The amplifier causes damage to the DNA of any mutant it's used on.
A small thermonuclear device is missing, and Deadpool was last seen in the weapons lab. The President is on line 5, Colonel Fury.
Not much. The serum's only worked on Captain America. There's something very peculiar about his physique. That, plus the doctor who originally developed it, is dead.
Are still waiting for you in the main lobby, Mr. Stark.
He'd wind up with a bunch of muscle-bound beasts, just like you saw in the Omega. They're psychotic, violent, and unable to take orders. Not exactly what you'd want from an army.
Johnny Storm would like you to announce that today is Ben Grimm's 65th birthday. Happy birthday, Mr. Grimm.
There's no problem at all.
Mr. Stark, there's a Harold Hogan on line 2 for you. Mr. Stark, there's Miss Bambi and Miss Heather.
Welcome and good day to you. I am Edwin Jarvis, personal butler to Mr. Anthony Stark. This area is where Mr. Stark carries out the research and development of his Iron Man suit. As you can imagine, the body armor has become so complex that a staff of technicians is required. You may walk around and inspect the facilities. I believe you'll already find several of your compatriots here.
Yeah, the name's Jack Hammer, but you can call me Weasel. Everyone does. Yeah, and don't worry, I came in through the back. No one saw me. Wyatt Wingfoot gave me a damaged laptop. said you heroes wanted to know what data was on it? Yeah, that laptop holds security information for a building called the Imperium. I can find out, but you'll have to get me the password into S.H.I.E.L.D.'s priority files. Oh, there's 3 possibilities. Jacob Fury, Baron Strucker, or Gabriel Jones. Talk to Vision. He'll be able to help.
I must admit, I find news of a S.H.I.E.L.D. outpost near Atlantis very intriguing. Now I know the extent S.H.I.E.L.D. is willing to go to gather information on countries with closed borders. Indeed it does. And now I wonder if perhaps S.H.I.E.L.D. doesn't have an outpost hidden there. We have the largest deposit of vibranium in the world. To open our borders would be an invitation to those who would conquer us. Over the centuries, fools have tried. But the Black Panther is always there to stop them. Indeed I am. Victor Von Doom has created a sizable army of supervillains. I don't know, but Doom must have a truly grand scheme to risk attacks on the helicarrier and the Omega base.
You are quite welcome.
I know seeing the Super Soldier project has raised some concerns about S.H.I.E.L.D., but let's get all the facts before we cause any trouble. I think S.H.I.E.L.D. has a lot to deal with, and sometimes it makes mistakes, but historically, it's done a great job of keeping the peace. I saw they were testing out a new version of the Super Soldier Serum, the same type of drug that gave me my strength and agility. Yes. During World War II, I volunteered for Operation Rebirth. It was a program for creating physically superior soldiers. I exceeded their expectations. Unfortunately, Dr. Erskine, the man who developed the drugs, was killed, and no one's been able to recreate his work. I have to admit, things sound kind of suspicious. Like, why was she carrying that laptop during the attack on the helicarrier? No. I'd need a lot more evidence before I'd say something like that about the Black Widow. Anytime, friend.
The Black Widow is up to something, I just know it. Did you see how nervous she was on the helicarrier? Sure looks like it. She must have been trying to get that laptop to the enemy during the helicarrier battle. Yes. That laptop shows all security systems for the building. And from the looks of those systems, the Imperium must hold something valuable. Not yet. She's his second in command. We're going to need some pretty strong evidence to shake Fury's faith in her. Yes, Colonel Fury's trust doesn't come easily, and once given, it's nearly impossible to break. Okay, so Daredevil and I were close several years back. And the Black Widow and Daredevil were close not so long ago. No, I'm not. I'm long over Daredevil. If he can find happiness with the Black Widow, I wish them both the best. You're welcome.
I do hate to impose, but if you see a cufflink somewhere in Stark Tower, could you return it to me? It was lost by Mr. Stark, and it has extreme sentimental value to him. My name is Edwin Jarvis, and I'm Mr. Anthony Stark's butler, as well as the butler for the Avengers. You could say it runs in my blood. My mother and father worked for Mr. Stark's parents. It is a dream of Mr. Stark's that was 4 years in the making. The top 3 floors are his living quarters. The rest of the building houses his business interests. No, not any longer. Mr. Stark recently had a change of heart concerning that particular field of industry. This is primarily where new Iron Man suits are built for Mr. Stark. Oh, indeed he does. But as his designs have grown more and more complex, he has required assistance in manufacturing them. It was my pleasure.
Hey, how's it going? It definitely belongs to the Black Widow. It's got her fingerprints all over it. For most techs, it would have been a lost cause, but for me, I managed to drag up a few tidbits of information. It mostly dealt with a building called the Imperium. I don't know, but that laptop had the layout of the building and all kinds of information about the security. I can, but you need to get me Fury's password into S.H.I.E.L.D.'s priority files. I bet I'll find everything you want to know. My sources tell me it's one of 3 possibilities. Jacob Fury, Baron Strucker, or Gabriel Jones. That's what I need you to find out. Talk to Vision. He'll be able to help. Thanks. When you get back from Atlantis, I'll have all the information you need. Sure. Anytime.
Mr. Stark, there's a Harold Hogan on line 2 for you. Mr. Stark?
Welcome, my friend.
And Miss Heather here in the main lobby to see you.
I know it's a name Colonel Fury would just as soon forget. Jacob Fury was so jealous of his older brother's success that he turned to a life of crime. Yes, and to make matters worse, the Colonel was forced to kill Jacob. So you can see why Colonel Fury does not care to dwell on that name. I would suggest you talk to the Black Widow about that name.
And Deadpool was last seen in the weapons lab. The President is on line 5, Colonel Fury.
Greetings. I would not say that name too loud. He is a leader of Hydra, and a longtime nemesis of Colonel Fury. You should ask Colonel Fury about Mr. Jones.
Johnny Storm would like you to announce that today is Red Grimm's 65th birthday. Happy birthday,
Well
Mr.
done
Grimm.
on the Omega mission. Will you have the same success in Atlantis? SHIELD's directive is to keep the world peace. To do that, we have to monitor the activities of every major civilization. I'm sure they wouldn't be too happy, and that's why they aren't going to find out about it. We realize now that Doom had no intention of commandeering the helicarrier. They attacked to draw additional security forces there. Correct. The Omega and the experiments it held was their prime objective all along. Dugan's still trying to sort things out, but apparently the base sustained only minor damage. Yes, they've been locked in a cold storage unit on level 3. Aside from some minor cases of frostbite, everyone was fine. Gabe? Heck yes, he's a great guy. Back in the day, he was one of my Howling Commandos. He still is. Gabe's one of my top advisors. He saved me from making serious mistakes more times than I care to remember. You're welcome.
Johnny Storm would like you to announce that today is Red.
Pose like you mean it, team.
Mr. Stark, there's a Harold Hogan on line 2 for you.
Hey. Thanks. When you get back from Atlanta...
Stark towers of beauty, isn't she? I consider her one of my greatest achievements. No problem. Our little task force needed a base, so it seemed like the thing to do. I wasn't worried about the cost. That is, until S.H.I.E.L.D. and I had our little disagreement. More like they had trouble with me. I wanted out of the weapons business. I can't tell you how many breach of contract suits they filed. That was just the beginning. Suddenly I had trouble getting building permits, filing patents. Don't get me started on how my taxes changed. I'm not sure exactly. One morning I realized I needed to do more than just amass wealth. I wanted to help people, and weapons aren't that helpful. You really don't need that many billions to get by. No, my life's taking a new course. I want to be remembered for helping lives, not destroying them. Anytime, my friend. Anytime at all.
Good day. How... It was my...